Did you know that 40% of readers abandon books after the first chapter? That's a huge number. But why does this happen? It's not just about bad writing. Readers today have less patience than ever before. If a book doesn't grab them quickly, they'll put it down and never look back. So, what makes readers quit? A bad first impression, yes. But also, things like a weak plot, flat characters, or too much unnecessary detail. And here's the kicker, even seasoned authors struggle with this. In fact, 50% of published novels fail to capture readers' attention within the first few pages. Ouch. But don't worry, this article isn't just about pointing out the problem, it's about showing you how to fix it. In the following chapters, we'll break down 6 common mistakes that readers hate in novels and show you exactly how to avoid them. By the end, you'll have the tools to write a book that keeps readers hooked from page 1 all the way to the end. Ready to dive in and learn what you can do to make sure your novel doesn't end up in the 40% of abandoned books? Let's go. Chapter 1, the infamous info dump. When your prologue turns into a textbook, we've all read books that start with pages and pages of information, right? This is the dreaded info dump. It happens when a writer throws all the backstory, setting, or character details at the reader at once. It's like an opening lecture in a college class, and trust me, readers are already zoning out. The fix, the trick here is simple: show, don't tell. Instead of unloading a heap of information, sprinkle it throughout the story. For example, instead of saying, the Kingdom of Loria had been at war for 100 years, try revealing that detail through a conversation between characters. Show the impacts of the war, the scars it's left on the land, and let the readers connect the dots. Did you know that in the book The Hunger Games, Suzanne Collins masterfully introduces the setting without a lengthy description? She does this through Katniss's actions and thoughts, allowing the reader to experience the world instead of just reading about it. Chapter 2, the redundant rant. When repetition renders your plot lifeless, we've all been there. A character keeps thinking the same thing over and over. Maybe it's a feeling, maybe it's a decision they have to make, but it feels like the author is stuck in a loop. Readers can only handle so much repetition before they start skimming. The fix: make every thought, line of dialogue, and description count. If your character is struggling with a decision, show them wrestling with it in different ways. Let their thoughts evolve. It's better to use action, dialogue, or conflict to demonstrate their state of mind. This way, you avoid feeling like you're hitting the same note repeatedly. Take Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. The book never repeats Harry's loneliness excessively. Instead, his interactions with others gradually change how he views his life, showing growth without a redundant inner monologue. Chapter 3, the ghost of predictable plots. A story that feels like a formula. Predictability is the enemy of excitement. Readers hate when they can guess what's going to happen next. If your plot follows the same tired path every time, it loses its edge. The fix: embrace the unexpected. One way to avoid predictability is by giving your characters real choices, not just options that feel preordained. Throw curveballs at them. Maybe they don't choose the obvious path, or they face unexpected consequences for their actions. In Gone Girl, Gillian Flynn twists expectations from the very beginning. What seems like a simple whodunit quickly turns into something much more complex, which keeps readers on their toes. Chapter 4, the bland villain. When your bad guy is just meh, there's nothing worse than a villain who's evil for the sake of being evil. A flat villain doesn't just hurt the story, it makes the hero's journey less interesting. Readers hate a villain who has no depth, no motivation, or worse, no real personality. The fix: create villains with goals, fears, and flaws. Villains should believe they're doing the right thing, or at least have some reason for their actions. This makes them more compelling and relatable. A great villain challenges the hero's beliefs, forcing them to revolve. Think of The Dark Knight. Joker isn't just a bad guy, he's a reflection of chaos and a true challenge to Batman's moral code. He forces Batman to make hard choices, which is why he's so memorable. Chapter 5, the stagnant story. When characters don't evolve, a story can't move forward if the characters don't. Readers hate it when characters don't grow, change, or face challenges that push them to become someone new. A stagnant character feels like they're stuck in a loop, making the entire plot feel pointless. The fix: characters should evolve over time. They should learn from their mistakes, overcome their flaws, and grow in ways that make sense within the story. Make sure your characters face challenges that force them to change, whether it's a personal dilemma or a shift in the world around them. In Pride and Prejudice, Elizabeth Bennet's growth is a huge part of the novel's success. She begins the story with certain prejudices, but by the end, she's a much wiser, more open person. Readers love watching her evolve. Chapter 6: The Pace That Never Picks Up. How slow burn kills excitement. Pacing can make or break your novel. If the story moves too slowly, readers can lose interest fast. On the other hand, if it's too fast, they might feel like they're missing out on the details. There's a fine balance that every great story needs to strike. The fix: build tension early, then keep it high throughout the story. If your novel has slow moments, make sure they're necessary for character development or plot. Keep the story moving forward by always asking, what's at stake right now? And how can I raise the stakes? In The Girl on the Train, Paula Hawkins plays with pacing by alternating between past and present, keeping the reader on edge while slowly revealing crucial information. This method keeps the story moving at a rapid pace without sacrificing character depth. Conclusion: becoming a great storyteller means learning to avoid the pitfalls that readers hate. Keep your information flow natural, ditch the repetitiveness, avoid cliches, create multi-dimensional villains, make sure your characters grow, and always keep your pace tight. If you can master these strategies, you'll be well on your way to writing novels that readers can't put down. Remember, storytelling is about engaging the reader from start to finish. So, take these tips, apply them to your writing, and watch your stories become unforgettable. Don't forget to subscribe for more writing tips, tricks, and storytelling secrets in our next video or article. You won't want to miss the next chapter of your journey to becoming an expert storyteller.